Hey friends, ready to head back down the arcade? Come with me now for more romance and soul searching among the pinball machines. It's Arcade Spirits. Welcome back to the next episode of Arcade Spirits. We have just got back from our lunch date with Teo, which we are insisting was not a date, despite him advertising it as a date and the two guys in the shop thinking it was a date. Apparently it wasn't a date. We'll get our date, never fear. As we came back, we were intercepted by somebody as yet unknown. So let's carry on, find out what they want, what potential source of stress I need to deal with now. It's Gavin and Ashley. TC, Ashley, you're both back. Good. I was hoping to catch you before we left. Ooh, what's up? Thanks, Ashley. Hamza's up. What?
Okay.
He is? Huh. Okay. Ashley, I'll bring the van around shortly. TC, you'll be flying solo today. What? What's going on here? My question exactly. Hang on. What's happening exactly? Who's Hamza? Hamza is a game finder and an auctioneer who gives next to no notice of when a new block of games will be going under the gavel, so we need to move. Ashley, Naomi, Francine and I will be going to his auction for the rest of the afternoon while you run the Funplex. What? My first instinct is to nod and go along with it. Gavin is the law around these parts. But Teo's words are still dangling away in my mind. Doing what needs doing is great and all, but maybe I need to step up a bit more. Plus, the idea of being trapped in here during our heaviest hours with no support was hardly appealing. Hey, what gives? I want in on this too. Let me tag along. Bit too direct, I think. You're trusting the Funplex to the newbie. I might burn it down. I think that might send him into a bit of a fit. How about Ashley and I swap places and I come with you? I'm going to go with the basic reply. I'm guessing that whatever happens, I'll end up going with them anyway, so yeah, we'll go with the basic choice. Is there a reason it has to be Ashley and not me?
Nope.
Definitely not. He just needs muscle to help move games around. I've got muscle. Well, I've got a muscle or two. Just ask Naomi. I help her move games all the time. True. Yeah! I feel like such a third wheel at those auctions anyway. Let TC be the third wheel. Let me handle the floor. Thank God! I'll be the finest third wheel you've ever met. Trust me. I want to do more than I've been doing. Different things, new things. Show some initiative, like. I suppose it wouldn't change much to bring TC instead, but no costume time today, Ashley. I need non-plush fingers on duty in case of ticket jams. Pinky can stay in storage for the afternoon. I'm just happy to be helping folks out one way or another. I need to go get the van. Wait up front, please. I like her belt buckle. It's the flamingo. Not spotted that before. We'll probably be closed by the time you get back, so I'll see you in the morning. Floor attendant Ashley, away! Leaving me waiting outside with my two travelling companions. Oh, she's taken her apron thing off. Not much time to chat though, as Gavin pulls his van and a rental trailer around. How exciting! I rarely go on adventures these days. It's just a quick trip, man. Any trip is an adventure if you make it one. Shall we? 4 of us pile in and it's off to the highway. Ooh, where are we gonna... What new scenes are we gonna get to see? This is exciting. Gavin, consult... Oh, there's me! I forgot what I look like. With my blue hair and my yellow hoodie. My hand sticking out of the window for some reason. Gavin, consulting a driving map on his phone, leads us out of the city via a series of weird turns and back roads. Trust me, that will save time in the long run. Where's Hamza set up this time? On site at some abandoned estate just outside of town. It's about to be torn down, but they found a trove of arcade games in the basement.
Woohoo!
So exciting! I love arcade raids. Arcade auctions. Raids! Auctions! Ugh. You guys got an arcade to English dictionary I could borrow? Francine, without looking up from her knitting, answers. A raid is when a bunch of collectors get together and rescue games before they can be junked by their original owner. An auction is when someone sells off their arcade games one at a time to a crowd of active bidders. So which is this, a raid or an auction? It's both, dearie. Call me dearie. Hamza, that sweet boy, buys up private collections before they can be thrown away. He rescues them from that terrible fate and then auctions off his finds. Sort of. Okay, now I'm fuzzy on the sort of part. I'm the newbie here, remember? Well, okay, so Hamza obviously auctions off games for cash money, but he's a very whimsical kind of guy. Once I saw him trade off a vintage Burger Time in exchange for someone's super chill, super secret chili recipe passed down through generations of family. Gavin doesn't sound too impressed. In other words, he's just on the edge of being a loon. This would be a lot simpler if it was just a raid. We pay up front, declare what games we want and cart them away. Instead he ambushes us with these impromptu auctions and makes us come down there to entertain his whims.
Wonderful.
Wow, Naomi's got a crush on Hamza by the sound of it. I think it's sweet. He wants to make sure the games go to good homes, to people who really want them, even if they can't pay. Really, we should be honoured we got an invitation. He's trying to cut out the big franchise arcades like Deco's Palace and help out the little guys like us. It's inefficient and relies entirely on keeping on Hamza's good side. Huh. Gavin's right, this could be a lot simpler. Helping out the little guys sounds good here. How did you meet this Hamza guy anyway? Well, helping out the little guys sounds good is kind of an obvious statement and just sounds like I'm blowing smoke up our own whatever. That's kind of dissing Naomi a little bit, so I'm not going to do that. So let's just go with finding out some more information. So he only invites a select hand-picked group to his auctions. How did you end up in that select hand-picked group? That would be my doing, dearie. I keep forgetting she's there. He likes to visit the local arcades whenever he's in town, and as I like to get to know everybody who walks in our doors, I approached it. I suppose we achieved a certain rapport, considering we have 3 invitations so far. Got some rather lovely games too, including Moopy. We need to temper our expectations a little, I suspect.
I think not.
We don't have room to add many more games, especially relics like Hamza usually deals in. What about the off-site storage unit? We could just rotate games in and out more often. Nearly full to bursting. Not cheap for us to rent on a monthly basis. I'm not saying we have to go home empty-handed. Certainly a few holes in our roster we can fill should we find an excellent deal and beat the other bidders. But consider this, above everything else, a way to maintain relations with Hamza even if we don't end up bidding.
Aww.
Now, Naomi. Gavin knows the numbers. I'm in favour of making our little Funplex more and more fun, but floor space is finite. And Gavin, remember, if we find some darling little game Naomi would lavish adoration upon, we can always retire an older game. Life, my young friends, is a series of trade-offs.
Well, Francine dispensing the wisdom there. Isn't it better to, you know, not just settle and compromise all the time?
Well now, there are trade-offs, and there are trade-offs. It's silly to say that you should never compromise, as silly as it is to say you should always compromise. It's what you compromise that defines who you are. You're all so young yet. You've time to make mistakes in learning what trade you need to make.
Unless you don't make rent on your apartment, or your stomach's growling. Iris and Juniper have pushed me to stop settling for less out of life, to stand up for myself and my happiness. And I've done just that without regret. So, everything should be fine now, right? Right? New default topic diversion, the weather. Well, at least it's a nice day for an outing, right? Oh dear. Oh, come on. That escalated quickly. From blue sky to purple sky. Just like that. Wonderful. Glad I packed plastic bags to wrap cabinets in, just in case. That's our cabin. Always thinking ahead. Trying to protect your investments, huh? From Hamza's invitation, it seems this arcade was largely abandoned and left to rot. I'd rather not add water damage to the ailments the games are already suffering. It's so sad when we come across a wonderful game that's just ruined beyond repair. Most collectors show their collections a lot of love, but others just don't care. You find old games in barns, exposed to the elements of falling apart. I suppose this is one thing we can easily agree on. It's important to take care of the games. For their resale value, you mean? A broken game's no fun to play with, and it's a shame to see a classic in terrible condition. Consider pinball. Pinball games are very prone to breakdowns, especially older ones. To experience them in their glory, you need to show them care. Even beyond a busted game earning no quarters, it feels like a waste to allow an enjoyable game lie fallow. Wow, language hype. A waste of true potential. Ah, good point. Glad to see these two getting along better, even if Naomi kept preemptively attacking him along the way there. The rain pounding down on the van roof, the conversation gets a bit difficult. Gradually, everyone resumes fiddling about with their phones, knitting or driving. Leaving me to wonder, where exactly is this auction and or raid happening anyway? We've been driving for some time, leaving the city far behind. What would a massive trove of arcade games be doing this far out in the sticks? Maybe it's some closed down roller rink or an old bowling alley, or... oh my word, maybe it's a creepy old house that's likely haunted by exactly 87,194 ghosts! This is nice. Ah, the classic Loves Games luck in play. So majestically awful. Gavin pulls up alongside any number of other vans and trucks. We're here a little late, it seems. Good grief, is this really the auction site? Creepy. Definitely creepy. At least an 8 on the creepometer. An old home has character, I feel. Let's not judge it by the exterior, shall we? With all speed, the group hurries inside to get away from the weather. A large group has already gathered in the foyer of the crumbling estate, but one rushes forward to greet us in a blur, as the others pay little mind.
Greetings, friends.
Oh, wow. Hamza is dressed like a king, and has a different font, I think.
Hamza welcomes our friends from the Funplex.
And talks about himself in the third person.
Gavin, stalwart as ever. Naomi, love what you've done with your hair. Miss Francine, a beauty surpassed only by your wisdom.
Oh, fresh.
And a new player, it seems. Who might you be?
TC Loves Games.
I see. Greetings to you and yours. I am known as Hamza, seeker of antiquity, finder of things lost, player of games.
Are you some sort of Indiana Jones character?
And welcome to,
Lara Croft
well,
time?
not my home, but a place where Hamza shall provide hospitality regardless.
Kind of a dump, isn't it? Seeker of Antiquity, 1980 something is antique. Thank you for your gracious invitation. Let's go with a joke. I was unaware Reagan-era amusement machines were antiques on par with the Turin Shroud. You have fire indeed, but rest assured, many a holy grail may lurk in the arcade below. You may even find your own relic of a holy nature by eve's end. Alas, I've not a moment to enjoy your fine company, TC Loves Games. Perhaps later, but for now, it is time. Clapping twice for attention, Hamza rallies the small crowd in the room to begin the proceedings. Friends, companions, long-time allies of the noble art of the arcade, welcome. Welcome to Donnerwood. Its story begins nearly 30 years ago when legendary pop musician Donna Michaels, singer of such hits as Thrilling and Mama Don't Mope, okay, did a stately pleasure dome decree. Here the reclusive idol crafted a private amusement park, a petting zoo and an arcade. Alas, she could only enjoy this paradise for a short 10 years before her tragic death. Needless to say, the estate has fallen on hard times ever since. In this year, it shall be torn down to make way for condominiums. But not before we have our say.
Friends, those games that Donna Michaels cherished still lurk one floor below, ready to be rescued from such a terrible fate. It is our moral imperative to do so. I have paid the estate owners a princely sum for the entire lot. Now, Hamza parcels them out to you. By all means, browse the collection. See which pieces sing out to you.
This is exciting.
On the far table, You shall find refreshments, grapes, sparkling wine, and delicacies from my travels. Mingle, cavort, and we shall begin the auction in 1 hour's time.
Let's get cavorting. Indeed, a lavishly arranged table that probably cost more than any single arcade game to put together is descended upon by the invitees soon after. I feel like I'm attending some ancient Roman celebration of debauchery and gluttony, not an arcade raid, or an arcade auction, or whatever. Donna Michaels! I knew it! I should have recognised Donna when we pulled in, but it was raining too hard. Who? You've never heard of Donna Michaels? She was the hottest musical act of 1980X. Naomi, I was born in 1990X. We could have the argument of like, just because it happened before you were born doesn't mean you aren't aware of it. I think we're all aware of the First and Second World War, but we weren't alive for them, so... I'm totally plugging my phone into the van's stereo so we can blast Girls Just Want to Play Games all the way home. But first, I'm going to check out the cabinets in her arcade. I'm not really into mingling. Later. She dashes off with all speed, heading for the stairs leading below. Shouldn't we all be going to look at the games, to be honest? Okay. Suppose I should go network a bit. Hamza's events always draw an interesting crowd of rival arcade owners. Heading for the foodstuffs, Gavin arranges himself a plate so he has an excuse to hang around and eavesdrop on the other collectors. Leaving me to do stuff? Now I see why Ashley was bored at these events. Gavin schmoozes, Naomi analyses finds, and Francine's already napping in a chair. I've got nothing to do. Well, when in doubt, find someone who knows what they're doing and stick to them like glue. Oh, well, it's clearly we're going to look at the games, isn't it? I mean, even if it wasn't Naomi looking at them, I would still go and look at the games, so... I'm not really interested in the arcade version of Game of Thrones going on up here. Gavin can handle these guys. Me, I want to see this legendary arcade Hamza was talking of, so I head downstairs to join Naomi. Ooh, whoa. Is this a private collection or a full-fledged arcade? I was expecting a handful of games and a pool table or something, but this... This is easily 3 times larger than the Funplex itself. Even coated in dust and disrepair, it's awe-inspiring. And it's also hard to find anyone in this maze of tightly packed games. Invitees are browsing the available stock to decide what's worth bidding on, making it crowded as well. But eventually I locate Naomi practically cuddling a narrow-looking TMNT machine. Turtle hype. Oh! Heart. CCTC, look! A 2-player variant of TMNT. These were only released in the Oceania region. Such a rare find. Wait, wasn't that game originally 4-player? Why would anyone want a version with only 2 joysticks? Well, because I mean, it's rare. It's a find. And it's less fun. Not the point! Anyway, it's hard to find one of these 2-player or 4-player. I'd love to have it for the arcade. I'd love to have that, and this one, and... Oh, if only I could take all of these home with me. She's like somebody who loves cats, wanting to take all the kittens home, isn't she? I mean, some have water damage, others likely have busted CRTs and controls. They all need work, but... I recall the game she was working on when I first met her. Extensive repairs needed just to make it playable. So, not only would you have to bid and win the game, but you'd have hours of work and plenty of spare parts to purchase ahead of you? I know, isn't it great? Okay, is there a nice way to say this? Oh, why are we harshing her buzz or dampening her vibe or whatever phrase is appropriate here? I know you love restoring these games, but do we actually have money for more new projects? How many restorations are in your backlog right now? Oh, that's really hard. I have to go with the kindest option. I can't be harsh with her. You really love bringing a broken old game back to working order, huh?
Yeah!
Absolutely, these games deserve to shine as they once did ages ago. If I can turn back the clock and let them be what they truly can be, let people play them as they were in their prime, there's no greater feeling. You enjoy the challenge of restoration too, repairing the hardware, replacing damaged art, problem solving of broken monitors. You know me so well, TC, exactly. All of that is admirable. I really love how happy these projects make you, Naomi. But there's a flip side. How much time does it take to restore a game? I'd say if it's in good shape, maybe a few hours. If it's really a wreck and needs extra love, a few days, maybe weeks if the parts are on back order. Okay, now think of the games we currently have and how many still need work or break down frequently. Can you take on a bunch of new projects? well, I could make the time work late, right? Even a girl with bottomless energy has her limits. Naomi sighs, frustration building. I hear you, Naomi. I hear you about not having enough time to do everything you want to do.
It's not fair. I know. I mean, I'm not dense. I know there's only so much we can realistically do. So many projects I can actually take on. But I wish I could do more. I wish we could do more. The Funplex has never really been a success. Even before I came on board, it was always struggling to stay afloat. I joined it because so few arcades still have the games I love. But I can't turn our situation around, can I? No matter how hard I try. This was my first job. Part of me is hoping it'll be my last job too. That I can happily spend all my days tinkering with these wonderful games. Every kid says they want to be a fireman or an astronaut or a robot cop or something, but nobody actually ends up doing that. Except me. I wanted to fix up arcade games, and that's what I'm doing. It's all I ever wanted to do. So when I see all these old, broken games, I just want to show them the love I can give. I could be happy working on them for the rest of my life.
Oh, wow, that's dedication. And really, you went straight from school to an arcade job? I mean, I've meandered from job to job, never really sure what I wanted. That's normal, right?
Yeah!
Oh, definitely. I'm the oddball here. It's funny, I followed my heart and found just what I wanted, what I needed. And now, well, now I'm scared someday it'll all come to an end. The Funplex will close.
And if the Funplex goes under, I really don't know what I'm gonna do. All I ever wanted was to work in an arcade. And I'm literally living my dream.
Okay, now I feel bad for bringing down her day. Yes, I should feel bad. Hey, look, you never know, right? Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll find a game down here that brings in thundering herds of players. Right. It's a slim hope, and we both know it, but Naomi clings to it immediately, eagerly. My low bank balance and grumbling stomach mean I need to cling to that hope as well. I made my choice. Now I need to make that choice work. We just need to find the right game, something nobody's played in a long time, something that'll tug at the nostalgia strings. It's difficult finding the right balance, especially in the year 20XX. A lot of these games are on live support, borrowed time. But they can be repaired, right? Well, yeah, for now. But CRTs, the monitors that power these old games, before LCDs and now 3D flats started replacing them, they're in short supply. Nobody makes them anymore. I mean, who buys a tube-based TV anymore? Exactly. Nobody. It's all high definition and all that dumb 3D projection tech which looks awful. Nobody appreciates a good CRT anymore. True that. Aren't high def displays way cheaper though? I've seen some old games running them in the other arcades. They're wrong is that they are. Wow, we have gotten her bad side. These games were not designed for pixel perfect flat panels. They're designed for fuzzy tubes. The picture looks weird on LCD. Even 2 weeks in, I'm still fuzzy myself on a lot of this stuff. But I grew up in the internet age. I'm silicon literate. I got opinions. Ooh. Let's use LCDs and just bash people over the head to make their vision blurry. A valid attempt at an option. How about we buy some cheap and common games, then gut them for spare CRTs? A logical option, I like that. How about can't we simulate the fuzzy image and still use an LCD? I think this one is the best one there. Get some spares and repairs. So it's a problem of having spare parts on hand long term. Short of building our own factory for cranking out TV tubes, there's a temporary fix. Buy some cheap common games and use them as organ donors.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. And ruin a classic. Cheap and common, Naomi, not some rare find, one that's readily available still. We can even keep the cabinet itself so it can be restored later if need be. Point is, mixing and matching the guts will keep the more fragile games afloat.
Makes sense.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, that does make sense. And I bet I could sell Gavin on that idea too. We need more rental storage, but it'd mean less ordering parts and less downtime. Okay, I'll see if there's anything down here nobody would want and nobody would need.
Thank you.
You know, I'm glad you're with us at the Funplex. Whether you take my side or Gavin's side, it's just nice to have someone who cares about games around. Ashley's fun, but she's way more into cosplay than gaming. Ugh, one of those people. But it's kind of odd, you know? What? Feeling like I'm not alone? I know that sounds dramatic, but I'm so used to toiling away in my little workshop with Ashley and Gavin not really caring about the things I love. They're kind enough to me and friendly. Well, Ashley is. But ever since you showed up, I feel like there's someone with me. It's odd. The music has changed in my ears. Are we having a moment here? I'm not complaining though. I guess it just takes getting used to after years of feeling perfectly content to be alone. Away from strangers. Crowds. I mean, it's not really my thing. I don't like to network like Gavin does or socialise like Ashley does. And now I'm making things weird, so I'm going to stop there. Besides, I'm just about done taking inventory down here. How about you and I... Ooh, suddenly, shouting and stomping of feet from the floor above. What the? Sounds like there's a fight or something going on up there. I think we'd better go see what's what. Quickly, we hurry upstairs. What's going on? I heard shouting. Hamza has ejected a representative of the Dark Carnival, known as Deco's Palace, from our midst. And not soon enough, in Hamza's opinion, Deco's Palace being the big, sort of, corporate place that he doesn't like. He likes the little independence. Oh, okay, I guess everything's fine then. Excuse me, I'm gonna go get my work apron on since we'll be moving games soon. Naomi, if you don't mind, after you change, we should coordinate our wish list. I want to get that settled before the auction begins. No, don't leave me alone with the Bacchanalian orgy master. Excellent. Oh God, is he gonna Jabba the Hutt me and make me his Princess Leia slave or something? Let us resume the social amusements and jocularities. TC loves games. We will speak. Yes. Okay. Hamza leads me off away from the chattering crowd, presumably not to eat me or yell at me or anything like that.
I make it a point to get to know all who attend my gatherings. Clearly, I have been remiss, as I allowed one who works with the hated Naomi to enter.
Dude, that's your lookout, not mine.
Hamza would like to know you better, my friend. Not that Hamza assumes you to be a spy, of course. It is simply a matter of what is proper and right.
Okay. I'm just a floor attendant for the Funplex. Not much else to say.
Come now. Surely there's more to you than that. Share with Hamza. Consider me an impartial third party. Surely
Sure.
There are matters that occupy your mind which would be inappropriate to air to your business partners?
I don't quite know what you want me to tell you, dude. You're, ask me questions, maybe? Okay, this guy is clearly on a fishing expedition for dirt. Considering the High Court of Arcade royalty I'm supping with, it's maybe best not to give him anything. But I also don't want to make relations difficult for the Funplex, if he really is a leading supplier of cheap arcade games. Okay, so I'm secretly the royal heir of a distant land. Honestly, I've had a long run of bad luck. Just the hired muscle for moving games around. Let's crack a joke. Between you and me, I'm the child of a prince, ruler of an ancient and exotic kingdom. I'm in hiding from an international conspiracy of assassins. I was blessed with a birthmark in the shape of Cupid, marking me as the chosen gamer of gamers. Hamza likes it too. A fine attempt. Besides, I'm the true son of royalty around here. Of a long-forgotten prince, no less. Bugger. I could believe that. You are literally dressed like royalty. Good. It assists Hamza's mighty reputation when people believe in the image he projects. I admit to obfuscating my origins somewhat, but there are some facts I allow to circulate.
Hamza began as a mere urban explorer and hunter of rare objects for a wealthy buyer in Dubai. You see, many debts pursued me, and in return for assistance in paying them, I stocked the arcade of his dreams. In time, my patron released me entirely from the woes of debt. They were difficult years, productive years to be certain, and throughout them, Hamza learned how to use the mystique of being Hamza to better achieve his goals. Now I stand before you with power, and with hard-earned respect for that power. I leverage it to ensure that those who respect games as I do can enjoy them, even if they lack coin.
He is almost Khajiit, isn't he? He has the wares if you have the coin.
But yes, I have known hardship. We all have in the course of events. You are not alone in that condition, my friend.
Okay, so how do I get out of that condition? Do I need to indebt myself to a wealthy prince or something too?
No. You will need the will to dream, and the will to work. The will to make the trade-offs that will bring you closer to your ambitions.
Trade-offs again. Oh, Francine was mentioning something about that earlier. Wisdom and beauty, that is Francine. I'm trying not to make trade-offs though, not to settle. My parents, they gave up on so much to just barely scrape by. That is the puzzle, is it not? What to trade? Allow me to regale you with a story. Hamza makes a sweeping gesture to the beautiful ruin of the Donnerwood mansion and to an oil painting hanging on the wall. And we'll find out what his story is that he's going to regale us with in the next episode. Tune in next time to find out more about Hamza and his secret past. I'll see you then. So if you enjoyed this video, thanks very much, I'm really grateful. This is the bit where I meant to tell you to smash the subscribe button, but I'm sure you already know how to do that, should you want to. Instead, if you'd like to chat with me about games live, please drop me a follow on Twitch. Also, as you can see, I have a Patreon. It's not just a place to beg for your money though, it's the hub for all things TC Loves Games. News, info, thoughts, plans and more. It's totally free to follow me on there and be part of my journey through the world of games. But if you'd like to pledge as well, there are some lovely rewards available for you. I'll see you next time. Much love.